and backdrop
There you
of
go.
the flag
Moving
today,
now?
Yep.
and giving us a means for raising our flag. Every year, the Greenwich Police Department Honor Guard makes this a very special event. All the participants from the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, Arch Street, and the Boys and Girls Club make this a truly important event about our community. I must acknowledge and thank the members of the Independence Day Association of Greenwich, including my co-chair Maggie Wine, Mary Ellen Levine, maybe you could stand up there, yes, and Natalie Cray, Miss Natalie, Irene Dietrich. I don't know if I've seen her this morning. Oh, great, thank you, Irene. Okay, and Alexandra Walco. Okay, and Gretchen Johnson. Mark Lissauer. Steve Warzoa, and Ed Dadagas. As well as all the people who helped him. That means all of you, too. We have with us today a number of our elected officials. I'm honored to introduce our Congressman Jim Himes, who I just saw. Thank you for coming. And First Selectman, Senator Ryan Bossia. First Selectman Fred Camillo. Selectwoman Lauren Rabin, Select Person Janet Stone McQuiggan, and State Representative Hector Arzino. Thank you all for coming today. And happy Independence Day. God bless America.
Thank you, ladies, and thank you for your leadership. Now, to provide a message from the town of Greenwich, please welcome our first selectman, Fred Camillo.
Thank you, Ed. Good morning, everybody. Happy Independence Day to you all. And thank you, Ed, and thank you to the Independence Day Association for, again, putting on a beautiful ceremony to honor our nation. And due to the long-awaited repainting of Town Hall that we've been talking about for a while, and also to celebrate this building's, coincide with the 100th anniversary of this building in a few months. We'll be back out front next year, but this is something we've been talking about a while, doing something in the back here to get away from the noise and from the traffic, and I think it's working out pretty well here. In about a month and a half, on August 19th, we're going to be raising the French flag in honor of the 200th anniversary of Marquis de Lafayette's victory lap when he came to Connecticut in 1824. And Greenwich was the first stop, and it was the first town on the way from where he was coming from, but also he was here to mark the pivotal role that Greenwich played in the founding of our nation. As we try to remember every year when we salute our nation, we also salute the efforts of the people who lived in Greenwich, Connecticut, because Greenwich back then was known as the frontier. It was split evenly between those loyal to the crown and those seeking freedom. The rest of Connecticut was firmly held by those patriots, but across the pond in Long Island was all loyalists. Westchester was loyalists. So Greenwich was split 50-50, and the streets here were battlefields, and people didn't talk for a long time. In fact, the then Board of Selectmen got involved by petitioning Hartford. The RTM got involved at the end, where they, at the end of the war, when we won our independence, they wanted to make sure that they would bar people who were loyal to the crown from becoming residents. So the hostilities lingered for a while, but we have to remember, when we go around today to celebrate with our friends and family, and we think about the liberty and independence that we also cherish, let us remember the role that those who came before us in Greenwich played in it. Happy birthday, America. God bless.
Thank you, Fred. The Greenwich Boy and Girl Scouts will lead the presentation of the flags of the original 13 states. These flags were a very generous donation from the Malcolm Pray Foundation. And they represent, obviously, the people who signed the Declaration of Independence and the first 13 states. So, a little test this morning. How many people can tell me who the first state was? Delaware. Good answer. And how many can tell me which was the last state to join the 13? Oh, even Senator Fazio didn't get that one. That would be Rhode Island. Rhode Island, everybody. Congressman, you don't even try, do you? And there were 4 people who signed the Declaration of Independence from Connecticut: Samuel Huntington, Roger Sherman, William Williams, and Oliver Wolcott. I wasn't going to ask you to guess those names. So color guard ready? Color guard, proceed. Color guard, post your colors. Color guard, dismissed. Now our first reading this morning will be I Am the Flag. It's being read by representatives of the Arch Street Teen Center, Jesse Collin and Davy Morera.
My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over institutions of learning. I stand guard with power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I'm confident. I'm arrogant. I am proud.
When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped, I am saluted. I am loved, I am revered. I am respected, and I am feared. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 200 years.
I was flown at Valley Forge, Gettysburg, Shiloh, and Appomattox. I was there at San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, in the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, and the beaches of Normandy, Guam, Okinawa, Korea, and Keyshawn, Saigon, Vietnam. I was there. I led my troops. I was dirty, battle-worn, and tired, but my soldiers cheered me, and I was proud.
I've been burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries I've helped set free. It does not hurt, for I am invincible. I've been soiled upon, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of my country. And when it's by those whom I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong.
I have slipped the bonds of earth and stood watch over the uncharted frontiers of space from my vantage point on the moon. I have borne silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hours are yet to come.
When I am torn into strips and used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the battlefield, when I am flown at half-mast to honor my soldier, or when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving parent at the grave of their fallen son or daughter, I am proud.
My name is Old Glory.
Long may I wave.
That's wonderful. That is always a fantastic poem every year. You can never get tired of that. We will now proceed with the main event, which is the flag raising. Once again, we will be raising a replica of the original colonial flag. The Betsy Ross flag will be carried by an honor guard from the Boys and Girls Club. Honor guard, proceed.
Honor guard, halt. Too far up. To the side. Honor guard, present arms. Honor guard, order.
Honor
Arms.
guard dismissed.
Honor guard, about face. Honor guard, all right, step off. Forward, go.
I just have to say, to the first selectman, we told me we had to go back here. There was no flag, told to raise the flag. But we did a pretty good job, I think. Thank you, Mr. Walko. And now to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this year, we have called upon an old friend, the founder of the Independence Day Association, someone who dreamed this whole event. We just put it on, but this lady dreamed it. And she's someone who is widely recognized as Greenwich's goodwill ambassador, Bee Crumbine.
Thank you very much. I'm very touched to be here. I'm honored to read the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm pleased that you're all going to join me with, I think, hands on your hearts, if you would, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
become our tradition, we're going to have some readings from the document that started it all, the Declaration of Independence. And we have a number of students from Greenwich Schools joining us: Max Quigley, Charlie Butkins, Emma Johnson, Angelina Ponce, Briar Lissauer, and Annetta Solara.
Action of the Second Continental Congress, July 4th, 1776. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, when, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the options of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
Don't touch the button, don't, no.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles, and organizing its powers in such forms, as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
Prudence indeed shall dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations is designed to reduce them, under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and provide new guards for their future security.
Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as a free and independent states they have the full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And with support of this declaration, with the firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Thank you. Good job, guys. Beautifully done. And they practiced a lot for this, I'll tell you that. It always looks easy when they're up here, but they had to work hard to do it, and you did a great job. One of the great things about being in Greenwich is that Greenwich has been around actually longer than America has been around, and many of our Greenwich residents at the time were very involved in this Declaration of Independence and in the Revolutionary War. We've got a lot of the descendants of those people with us today, so I'd like to introduce Mary Ellen Levine to talk about those descendants. Thank you.
Today we are celebrating the 248th birthday of the United States of America. And yes, there will be cake. Be patient. Many people have been patient a long time to make this fantastic country. 2 weeks from today, on July 18, we will celebrate the 384th birthday of Greenwich. At this time, we want to remember the two people, Robert Feek and Daniel Patrick, who in 1640 purchased, with 25 cooks, the land from the Native Americans that became Greenwich. And to remember Elizabeth Winthrop Feek, Robert's wife, who purchased by herself the neck that became known as Elizabeth's Neck, later called Todd's Point, and today named Greenwich Point. The deed of sale of the land and Elizabeth's Neck was signed on July 18, 1640. A copy of the deed is on a bronze plaque mounted on Founder's Rock at Greenwich Point. Jeffrey Ferris, who had purchased land from the Native Americans in what is now Stamford, was one of the witnesses. Jeffrey Ferris later purchased land in Greenwich. The oldest house in Greenwich, also the first house built in Greenwich and one of the oldest houses in America, was built by Elizabeth Feek circa 1645. It rises from what is called a cellar pit, a hole dug into the land as a place of shelter until a house could be built. An expert restoration was completed in 2018. Next time you go to Greenwich Point, have a look at the house. It is at 181 Shore Road, on the right, just as the road bends to the left as one approaches the park entrance. In 1650, Jeffrey Ferris purchased the house from Elizabeth Feek. His son James Ferris inherited the house. In 1666, Jeffrey and James each added a section to the original house, and today it is called the Feek Ferris House. Later, other families settled in Greenwich, becoming the founding families of the town we call our home. And today we recognize the descendants of the founders, Elizabeth and Robert Feek, and of families who arrived between 1656 and 1730. Brian Kelly, would you please stand? A descendant of the Mead family. And I, Mary Ellen Levine, a descendant of Elizabeth and Robert Feek. Sally Reagan, would you stand please, a member of the Lyon family. Maureen Taylor, would you stand please, a member of the Lyon family. Richard Lee Hughes, would you stand please, also a member of the Lyon family. Trey Reynolds, would you stand please, a member of the Reynolds family. Mr. and Mrs. Gary Palmer, please stand, members of the Houston and Palmer families. Susan Ferris, would you stand, a member of the Ferris, Lockwood, and Peck families. Anne Greco, would you stand, a member of the Abraham Todd family. Sue McConaughey, please stand, a member of the Knapp family, the Lockwood family, the Claflin family, and the Tritzel family. Andrew Melillo, would you please stand? A member of the Finch family, the Austin family, the Lockwood family, the Close family, the Reynolds family, and the Feek family. Fifi Sheridan, would you please stand? A member of the Lockwood family. Wynn McDaniel, would you please stand? A member of the Mead family. And Mr. and Mrs. James Razor, members of the Elizabeth Winthrop Feek Hallett and William Hallett families. Thomas, and the Peck families. Happy birthday, Greenwich, happy birthday, America.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. And please rise and join Christina Kampler as she sings My Country 'Tis of Thee.
My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Receiving a Good Citizenship Award is a recognition of an individual's outstanding commitment to being an active and responsible member of their community, displaying leadership qualities that inspire others. It serves as an encouragement to continue their positive contribution and sets an example for others to follow. We are going to present Good Citizenship Awards to students from 5 of our high schools. And to do that, I'd like to introduce Maggie Wine, Janet Giusti, and Natalie Prey.
Good morning. The first Good Citizen Award is presented to James Flynn of Greenwich High School. James, please come forward. And next I would invite Francisco Olivero of Greenwich Country Day to please come forward. And Caitlin Costello of Sacred Heart, please come forward. Well, we'll have Gunnar Gregory of Brunswick School, please come forward. And Melina Salame of Greenwich Academy, please come forward. Okay, her mother will accept the certificate and the book on her behalf. Thank you. Thank you so much for all you do for Greenwich and setting an example of a good citizen. Thank you.
After America declared her independence, the very first country to officially recognize the fledgling United States was France. France has been by our side ever since, and in fact, even gave us the Statue of Liberty. The Marquis de Lafayette was one of the Frenchmen who came to the United States to fight with the Continental Army. He was so respected by General Washington that he was given his command over his own division. Wynne McDaniel of the Horseneck Daughters of the American Revolution is here to tell us about a very special recognition of the Marquis de Lafayette coming up. Wynne?
Bonjour. I want to make sure everyone can hear me. On this day that we celebrate our independence, I believe it is important to never forget those that fought for our independence so many years ago. An important aspect of our success in the war was our special relationship with France. The Battle of Yorktown in 1781 was a turning point in our Revolutionary War, and General Lafayette was a key figure in that battle. He served under George Washington, and this turned into a valued father-son relationship over the years. In 1824, at the request of President James Madison, the Marquis de Lafayette returned to the U.S. and was enthusiastically greeted by thousands of citizens at every stop. In August 1824, the Marquis de Lafayette visited Greenwich, and we are proud to celebrate this 200th anniversary on Monday, August 19th, with a French flag raising at Town Hall at 9 a.m. and an event at the Greenwich Historical Society at 10 a.m. These events are sponsored by the Horseneck chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, the Greenwich Historical Society, and the Alliance Française Greenwich. This celebration in Greenwich represents a wonderful opportunity for our town to recognize this amazing patriot, and I hope you can all join us. Please also see our display in Town Hall, designed by Greenwich High School junior, Riona McCursey, which is dedicated to the history of the Marquis de Lafayette. Thank you.
Thank you, Wynn. Connecticut residents played a key role during the Revolutionary War. Some of those names are very familiar to you. They're names like General Israel Putnam, Nathan Hale. But more than 40,000 Connecticut residents, which at that time was about a fifth of the population, saw military action. We now invite all descendants of Revolutionary War patriots to also stand, or wave your flag if you're standing already. Not, so please salute these patriots, family of patriots. And now I ask that all veterans stand and be recognized for their heroic service. Now, don't sit down, those who are standing. I want everybody to stand, because now we're getting to the most solemn part of our event today, which is the reading of the names of the Greenwich citizens who actually gave their lives in the Revolutionary War. That's why we have the freedoms that we enjoy today. It will be followed by a 21-gun salute. And to do this, I'd like to introduce Frederick Floyd Nagel, past president of Captain Matthew Mean Branch Number 11 and director of the Yale Veterans Association.
Joseph Banks, Daniel Carter, Samuel Close, Daniel Darrow, Thomas Hickok Sr., Nathaniel Jessup, Samuel Knapp, Stephen Knapp, Timothy Lockwood Jr., Epson Mead, Solomon Mead, Sylvanus Mead, Zabit Palmer, Benjamin Reynolds, Jonathan Reynolds, John Lundberg.
seated. On behalf of the committee, I thank everyone for coming to commemorate this very special day. We gather not to just mark a date, but a profound moment in history. 248 years ago in Philadelphia, our founding fathers not only declared independence from Britain, but boldly proclaimed the right to govern themselves, casting off the yoke of tyranny and paving the way for a nation founded on freedom and democracy. Today we pay tribute to their visionary spirit and unwavering bravery. Throughout its history, America has defended freedom with unparalleled courage and dedication. From the frozen fields of Valley Forge to the rugged mountains of Afghanistan, generations of Americans have answered the call of duty, often at great personal sacrifice. In fact, it was General Colin Powell who said, "Over the years, the United States has sent many of its fine young men and women into great peril to fight for freedom beyond our borders. The only amount of land we ever asked for in return was enough to bury those that did not return." So as you leave here today to enjoy your barbecues, softball games, and maybe a few of you are headed to the beach, I urge you to take a moment to reflect and express gratitude to the 57 men who possessed the foresight and courage to sign the Declaration of Independence. Today, we view those actions as inevitable, almost destined. But in 1776, it was a perilous choice. These men were British subjects, challenging their own government. Had they been captured, they would have been executed for treason. Signing was a true act of bravery and conviction. And because of their courage, America has shown itself over and over again to be the greatest and most compassionate nation in all of human history. And don't let anyone tell you differently. That is why we are proud, that is why we are grateful, and that is why we celebrate today. So I thank you for coming. Enjoy your 4th. Cake is served up there, and Christine Campler will lead us in our final song, God Bless America. Fantastic. Thank you, everybody. Right up these stairs. Birthday cake, my favorite part of the day.